Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. Today, this is going to be kind of part 2 of a video that I did a few weeks ago. It was basically 5 items which are non-legendary items, which have been making me a ton of gold recently, and I'm going to be following that up with 4 more items. So if you haven't seen that first part, if you watch this one and you want to know more, or you just want 5 more items on your list, be sure to go check that video out. It will be in the cards as well as the description, and of course, stay tuned for the 4 other items which I'm going to be talking about. Now, these 4 items, 3 of them are going to be old world items. They're going to be non-Shadowlands specific items. So if you are looking for that Shadowlands items, be sure to go check that other video. But we are going to get right into it without further ado. So the first item we're going to be talking about are demon steel bars. Now these bars are actually a Legion blacksmithing item. You craft them once you complete the Legion questline, and mainly what they're used for is there's a variety amount of transmog pieces or just Legion gear that you can craft with these, but the main item is a mount, which is the blacksmithing mount. It is a steel hound or a core hound, and that is what you use these demon steel bars for, and that's primarily the big use, what everybody is crafting these. Now, the reason why I got into selling them was actually I was trying to farm for that mount. The big issue with that mount is that you need 50 Bloods of Sargeras to actually craft it, and so if you guys do not know, that is kind of, you can only get a few amount a day, so it's one of those things that you have to do dailies and kind of complete that for. And as I was waiting and as I was collecting my Bloods, I created a ton of demon steel bars for the mount itself, and also so I can just like pre-craft stuff and don't have to worry about it later. And I got lazy and never actually wanted to use the Bloods. I never got enough. So I decided to just throw the demon steel on the auction house. And surprisingly, it has sold pretty well and also can make you a ton of profit. The best things about this bar is that it's very cheap to make, and it's also super simple to sell. The reason for that is that because there's not a lot of competition, you can normally post this, once a day, and hopefully you'll find a buyer. If we do want to look, as you can see, it does have a slow sale rate. I mean, the region sale rate is about a 0.02, which is kind of like a good piece of transmog, and my personal sell rate is a 0.01. But you can look at my history, and as you can see, about actually a day ago, I was able to sell 100, and then 16 days ago, then 30. So I would say about every 15 days, so every 2 weeks, I can actually sell a batch of this. Sometimes it will be 12 of them, sometimes it'll be 24 of them, or somebody will come around and buy all of them up for, 200. It just kind of depends. Normally the people buying this is if they are missing a little bit for the mount, or they're trying to craft some transmog, that's the people that's going to buy this. Once again, this is Legion blacksmithing, so to actually unlock this recipe, you're going to have to complete the little quest line for blacksmithing inside of Legion. All professions have a little quest line, so you just have to finish that up. Another pro of this is that it's very easy to level up blacksmithing. Besides the fact that you do have to take the time to complete the quest line, it is very cheap. You need about 300 laystone ore, 60 fell slate, and about 10 foxflower in order to complete it, in order to level up your blacksmithing. And then you need to have 2 fell slate and a laystone ore in order to craft 1 demon steel bar. Now currently it says my crafting cost is about 120 gold. That's just because of the current fell slate and the current prices of laystone, but I've gotten my crafting cost down because I've bought in bulk to about the 40 to 50 gold mark, which means I'm actually making about 100 gold profit right now if I want to use that to my advantage. But as you guys can see, over the past, about 150 days, of course, this is off and on of me crafting it, but I have sold a total of about 700 ingots for 90,000 gold. As you can see, in the last 30 days, I've sold about 150 ingots, and I've sold it for about 14,000 gold, which means I've sold these ingots for about 100 gold each, And like I said before, my actual crafting cost is about 50 gold, so I've made about 7,500 gold profit, which is not an insane amount. I mean, this is something that you definitely do not want to rely on, but all of these items are just going to be great items that you just add into your arsenal. These items, I've crafted them probably 6 months ago, and I can just like let them sit on the auction house and slowly bring in some gold. So this is not a get rich quick method, but you can definitely use your resources to your advantage. But that is Demon Steel Bars, and we are going to move on to the next one. The next item we have is actually deep sea bags. Now, if you guys are a fan of my channel, or you watch my live streams or are part of the Discord, anything like that, you guys will not be surprised about this at all. I love deep sea bags. If you guys are unaware, deep sea bags are a BFA tailoring item. They are the primary bag of BFA, and they are still just selling super well. In the past 30 days, which of course is off and on selling due to the fact that I just haven't been crafting a ton. As you can see, I practically almost got daily sales until about 2 weeks ago, which I kind of took a break on the sales. But as you can see, in the past 30 days, I have sold a ton of these items. Now, of course, deep sea satin is showing up. So if we just want to type in bag, there we go. In the past 30 days, I've sold about 100 of these bags. Also, keep in mind, if you are on a full pop server, you're probably going to get a ton more sales than me, just because this is a medium pop. So I don't have that many buyers. But in the past 30 days, I've sold about 100 of these bags. And what I do is I pick up very cheap Tide spray linen, and I also take pretty cheap deep sea satin if it's available. If not, then I will scrap the Tide spray at the BFA scrapper in order to get my own deep sea satin, and then I sell the bags themselves just like that. But overall, this is just a great way to utilize that BFA items. If you can find some super cheap stuff, deep sea satin used to hover around 12 gold, which is not profitable at all to craft that into bags, but somebody must have gotten tired of posting that every single day, and somebody threw a ton on the auction house for like 3 gold. So I bought almost like 1,600. I think I bought 1,600 at some point. I bought up to like 10,000 deep sea satin for 3 gold each, which then makes these bags super profitable, and I still have a ton left of it. So these are just an item, once again, if you do find cheap materials, use that to your advantage, gain some profit off of it, and like I said, these sell very, very nicely. The one thing you do have to keep in mind is if you were not a current content BFA player and you did not have BFA tailoring, there are different ranks of the bags which you're going to have to unlock. I believe it's through reputation, but it's been a while, so you might have to double check me on that. But the best thing you're going to want to do is get that rank 3 in order for you to have that cheapest way of crafting it. Of course, if you could still find profit with the rank 2s or the rank 1 bags, feel free to do so, but of course, the higher the rank you have, the best outcome and profit that you're going to be able to get. But deep sea bags are once again one of my favorite items, and we're going to be moving on to number 3. The third item that we're going to be talking about is actually Enchanted Elementium. Now, I do have a whole separate video on the breakdown of how to gain the recipe, how to go through the transmuting and the whole process of making the most profit with this item. So if you are interested, I'll leave that linked as well. So I believe it's about 15 minutes to 20 minutes long. It's going to show you exactly how to get the item, all of that. So feel free to check that out if you are interested in this item. But these bars, they are a part of vanilla mining. So you smelt these bars, which means you need vanilla mining maxed out. And as you can see, I have not sold these very recently. The reason for that is because, honestly, I've been so busy with legendaries and Shadowlands, I always completely forget about this item. But then somebody brings it up, catches my attention again, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to restock those. So what I have done is the way that you can make a ton of profit with this is you will want an alchemist as well as that mining character. The alchemist isn't necessary, but generally, if you want the most profit, you will want to do a transmute. So without getting crazy into the exactly how to craft these, because I do have a more in-depth video, But what I have done is previously I bought 200 arcane crystals for about 98,000 gold, and just right before this video, I created them into the final product, and as you can see, out of those 200 crystals, I was able to create 24 bars. Now, from that, like I said, I invested about 98k. Plus and minus, you do have to realize that there are a few other components. For example, there is this ingot, which is about 150 gold each, which I do need to include, and a few, like you need this flux, which is like 3 gold a piece. So let's say for the 24 ingots, we spent about, let's just say 115k. I don't know the exact number, but out of that 115k, if we want to look, as you can see from these 24 bars, we're going to be getting 200,000 plus another 40,000 if I can sell these bars for about 10k. So just off the bat, that's about 100. That's over 100k profit because we invested about 115k and we're going to getting about 250k out of it, or 240k. So we're going to be making a profit about 125,000 gold just off of maybe a 10-minute, 15-minute transmuting process. Also, as you can see, right now the market value on my server, as well as the region market value, is about 12,000 gold. So if I can sell it for even more, that would be the best. But of course, in my past history, I've sold it for a little bit less. The cheapest I've ever sold it for is about 7k, but even then I will be making profit. So this is just one of those items which my data isn't the perfect and isn't the best because it's one of those items that I always forget about, but I've sold about 51 items for about 500,000 gold from a various standpoints and time points. But if we want to say, let's just say it's 50% profit, we've made about 250,000 gold strictly just on this Elementium bar. Once again, the pros of this is that it's very, very good. It's a very nice seller. Right now, I have about a 0.1 sell rate, which is pretty good for old world items, especially at this expense. And with this much profit involved, 0.1 is super, super good. And regionally, it has a 0.05, which is like a very, very, very high quality transmog. So, of course, it's not going to be as fast as your standard bar or your standard ore, but it's just a great seller, especially for that price. The only con about this is that you do have to go through a little bit of a lengthy process of leveling up your mining, your classic mining, all the way up to 300, which can take a little while. And also you do have to do a little bit of a quest line, but it's for sure worth it. You can make a ton of profit, especially if you keep up with it. There's a huge possibility I could have double or triple this amount of income just from this item itself. But this is a great item, probably almost one of my favorites on this list, and we're going to be moving on to the final item. And finally, the last item I'm going to be showcasing is actually a Shadowlands item, and it is the Desolate Armor Kit. Now, the reason why I am talking about this armor kit specifically is that I've had a few people in my Discord have brought up the heavy Desolate Armor Kits, which is a super good item. It's definitely better than this item, I would say, in terms of profit and sell rate, but because of that, a lot of people focus only on the heavy Desolate Armor Kit and doesn't give the original one some love. So, in terms of stats, basically, this is just not as good of armor kit as the heavy one is, but in terms of crafting, the issue with the heavy one is that it is locked behind reputation. So if you're somebody like me who has their leatherworker on an alt that has not really done any of the Shadowlands questing, besides just getting to Oribos through the mall intro, the heavy Desolate Armor Kit is a long ways away and just a grind that you don't really want to deal with. But because of that, you can still utilize that leatherworker, whether it has the reputation or not, by crafting these Desolate Armor Kits, the complete standard one. As you can see, I have about 200 on the auction house right now, and in the past, I've sold about a little over 400 of them, which my last sale was about a day ago. Now, region sale rate is about a 0.12, which is really good. I mean, that's like a standard item if you want to talk about, you know, an old world ore or something like that, which is pretty good. It's not super amazing, but 0.12 is definitely something that you cannot complain about. Now, personally, on my server, as you can see, my sell rate is very, very low. It's about a 0.02, which is basically a transmog item, but I have to believe that I think it's because I am on a lower population realm, a medium pop, so normally all of your guys' sell rates will be higher and hopefully closer to that region sale rate. But my personal one is a 0.02, yet I've still sold about 400 of these. And the past 30 days is when I kind of started picking up on this item and actually crafting it in my daily queues, and I've sold about 230 of them. So, you know, if you're somewhere closer to that region sale average, there's a big possibility you could be selling a lot more, double, triple, quadruple the amount that I'm selling. Currently, my profit is about 33 gold, but that is the current standard because I have been selling these at about 84 gold. And if we want to take that into account, I've sold about, you know, a little over 200 items, and that's going to put us at about 7,000 gold profit out of that 10,000 gold that we have sold. So it is very nice. Once again, it's kind of like the demon steel bars. You just want to post them. If they sell, they bring in some nice income. If you are already crafting the heavy desolate armor kits, why not add, 20 to this mix? If you craft 100 heavy, maybe craft 20 of the normals and see how well they do. Of course, like everything, you will want to test the waters on your server, make sure that profit can be involved, and, maybe you'll find your new golden item that you never even thought about. But Desolate Armor Kits, it's one of those simple ones. You just learn it from Leatherworking. I don't know exactly what level you need to be, but I'm pretty sure it's not maxed, and it's just something you can throw on the auction house. But with that being said, that is my quick list of the 4 items that I wanted to talk to you about, and just kind of get your mind flowing, and hopefully you can add this to your gold making restocking and just your gold making markets. But I have tried to kind of condense these videos and made them as short as possible, so if you guys do like this format a little bit better, if I'm talking too fast, talking too slow, please let me know. I am here to adjust and help you guys as much as possible. But if you guys haven't already, be sure to join the Discord down below. That is where you're going to be updated and notified about me going live, new videos out, or technology issues or anything like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys can utilize this in your standard gold making every single day. And if you guys have any success stories with these items, feel free to share down below. It can definitely encourage somebody for checking out these items, and you don't just have to take my word for it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, have a good day.